The lengths of the leaves X of a particular type of tree are modeled by a normal distribution. I'm calling these lengths X is representing the length which is normally distributed, and I do not know the mean, which is mu and sigma. So yeah, I do not know these quantities. But what does the question tell me? A scientist measures the length of a random sample of 500 leaves from this type of tree and finds that 42 are less than 4 centimeter long. So the scientist is telling me X. What was X? X was? What is X? Wrong. What is X? Very good. It is the length of leaves. And I'm telling you, if you're confused about this, you better write it. X is, the question says so, but if you're confused, to read the question again, it is the length of the leaves. A variable that is continuous variable, likh lo, you karte rehte ho, and then the nods do not help you in exams. So the question is telling me that the probability that X, which is the length, is less than 4. This probability is equals to 42 out of 500. Is this right or wrong? I am not solving the question. This is what is exactly written in the question. I have just written it in the mathematical notations. Clear? So you better convert this probability to decimal. Why? Because the table हमें देगा वो decimal में देगा. What is the value? 0.084. This is what is written in the question. I have not solved a single bit of this. I have just converted it into readable values. And 100 are more than 10 centimeter long. So what do I know? Probability that X is greater than 10 is 100 upon 500, which is 0.200 or 0.2 is good enough. Is this clear? Yeah, yes. So these are the two values that you have. Now, whenever we are solving the questions of normal distribution, we always take help of the standard normal. Is that right? How will we use standard normal for this one? Let me draw two graphs, one for normal and one for standard. Bell curve. This is for my variable X. Do I know the mean? I do not know the mean. Let me draw a standard normal as well. What is the mean of standard normal? 0. Okay. So now the values that I've comprehended from the text that was present in the question. X is less than 4 and this probability is 0.084. What does this tell you? Where will you find the value 4? On the left of the mean or on the right of the mean? Somewhere on the left of the mean, you will find the length 4. And this probability, this area is 0.084. Is this right? Well, let's sort all of this out and then we'll move on to the next value, which is 10. Okay, so what will be the Z value of 4? Positive or negative? Mujhe bas itna batao. Negative. What makes you say that? It is on the left of the mean. Does my table help me with the negative Z values? But I know that 4 ki corresponding Z value will be negative, but the table is of not great help in this. So eventually I have to come to this negative value, but right now for the sake of reading it from the table, I will read its reflection. Is that right? Whatever the Z value is, uski reflection read karenge, the positive Z value. And I know that ye wali probability kitni hai? 0. Again, the right wali probability mein the table is not of great help to us. So then what will we do? Left wali probability 1 se minus karke nikalenge, which is this entire probability is 0.916. So you will read the Z value on the probability 0.916. 0.916 is the probability और उस पे मुझे Z value read करनी है. Remember, this is not the ultimate Z value that I am searching for. This is not the corresponding Z value of 4. इस बारे में जरा शुरू से clear रहना. So going to the table, and I know the probability is 0.916. So how will I read it? I'll show it to you. 0.9115, 9131, 9147 and 9162. अब मैं इससे ज्यादा चला गया. I do not need to go 9162. 9147 में how much did I need to add? 0.9147 में कितना ऐड करूंगा तो 916 हो जाएगा. 13 ऐड करूंगा. Do I have the option of adding 13? Yes. So what will be my Z value? 1.3 first decimal place. Second decimal place is 7. 1.378. So this Z value, if you cannot understand this unless you are sketching the bell curves along with the solution, so this value is 1.378. Is this the corresponding Z value of 4? No. What will be the corresponding Z value of 4? Negative 1.378. शुरू से हमें पता है कि corresponding value of 4 is a negative 1. So this is negative 1.378. So 4 की corresponding Z value is negative 1.378. So Z is equals to X minus mu upon sigma. Z is minus 1.378 when X is 4 with mu and sigma being unknown to me. Is that right? Yeah, I can obviously manipulate this equation to get mu as the subject. क्या बनेगी बताओ जरा इसको अगर मैं simplify करूं. Mu is equals to, this simplification is very easy, 4 plus 1.378 sigma. इस sigma divide हो रहा है वहां जाएगा तो it will multiply. Mu is subtracting on right, left back add होगा. If you want me to throw those childish tips, I can do that too, but I encourage you to do it on your own if you are confused with this. सही है? Is this clear? This is one equation and it has two unknowns. Obviously, it cannot be solved. I will be needing another equation. इसी के ऊपर थोड़ा सा override करूंगा. It will be a bit messy, but I hope you will understand this. So, नहीं करना चाह रहा हूँ. Where will 10 be? और से देखो 10 से greater than की probability is 0.2. Where will 10 be? On the right of the mean or on the left of the mean? क्यों? क्योंकि right पे the probability is 0.2. Is that right? अब 10 की जो Z value होगी, will that be positive or negative? Positive directly. But I know the probability on the right of 10. What about the probability on the left of 10? 0.8. The probability will be 0.8. So I am searching for such a Z value जिसके left पे the probability is 0.8. Is that right? जब probability left की 0.8 होगी तो तब Z value क्या है? Again going back to the table. 0.8 रीड करना है मुझे. 0.7881, 7939, 7967, 7995, and then I go above 0.8. I do not want to go above 0.8. 0.7995 में कितना ऐड करना है और 5 ऐड करना है टेक्निकली, राइट? 5 है ना. तो फर्स्ट डेसिमल प्लेस इज 0.8, सेकंड इज 4 एंड थर्ड इज 2. तो 0.842. तो 10 की corresponding Z value is 0.842. So using the same thing again. So 0.842 when my X is 10 mu upon sigma. You can solve these two equations simultaneously and tell me the value. 0.842 sigma is 10 minus mu. Solve the two equations simultaneously and tell me the value of mu and sigma. I'll trust your values. बहुत easy simultaneous solutions हैं. I'm waiting for your answers. Mu is 7 point and sigma is 2.70. Again, trusting your values, and you solve these two equations simultaneously. This is what you should have ended up on. Is this clear? Another part of same question, part B. The length in centimeter of leaves of a different type of tree have distribution n normal. Notation दे दी है. The ones who do not know these notations वो देखते रहेंगे क्या है भाई. Mean is mu and standard deviation is sigma. The scientist takes a random sample of 800 leaves from this type of tree. How many of these leaves the scientist would expect to have length in centimeter between mu minus 2 sigma and mu plus 2 sigma? पहले I want you people to give it a try जैसे तुम लोग समझ पा रहे हैं, then I'll explain. Okay, so the question is telling me there is another distribution, वो भी normally distributed है. मुझे उसका मीन नहीं पता. मैंने मीन ले लिया म्यू. I do not know मीन कितना है. Where will be mu plus 2 sigma on the right, somewhere on the right? And where will be mu minus 2 sigma? Symmetrically, right? अच्छा, another thing, just recall कितने data में approximately the entire curve is covered. Mu plus 3 sigma and mu minus 3 sigma में entire data is covered. Now, no matter what the variable is, उसका कोई whatever mean it has or whatever standard deviation it has, this area will remain the same for all variables, right or wrong? Is that right? So even if I had the standard normal, what is the mean of standard normal? 0. And what is the standard deviation of standard normal? 1. So mu plus 2 sigma, 0 plus 2 into 1 will mean 2. And 0 minus 2 sigma will mean minus 2. So technically I'm trying to find the probability between 2 and minus 2. If this thought did not cross your mind, then still you would have done it. कैसे करोगे गौर से देखो. You can find your z value. Your x value is mu plus 2 sigma. If this, ideally this should have come across your mind, but if it did not, so x की जगह you can write your mu plus 2 sigma minus mu and then again sigma. So mu minus mu cancelled, sigma sigma cancelled, तो z value तब भी 2 आ गई. Very good. Bilkul, obviously. But understand this thing. This thought should have crossed your mind. If it did not, you could have even achieved the same value through your calculation of the formula. उससे ऊपर से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है. That was a different variable and this is a different one. So 2 के पीछे वाली probability हमें देगा question. The question does not provide us with the in-between probability. So 2 के पीछे 2, the probability on the left of 2 is this. 0.9772. So 2 के पूरे पीछे की probability 0. But I need to find the probability between this. 1 से minus करूंगा मुझे इस tail की value पता चलेगी. Okay, so let's see this. Probability of z is less than equal to 2 is 0.9772. You will subtract it from 1 and whatever the answer you get, you will subtract that answer from this value. और से देख लो. So if you're trying to find the probability of this between और से देखो जरा 0.9772 में से you still need to subtract something. What do you need to subtract from 0.9772? 1 minus 0.972. Is that right? 0.9772 में से this is what you need to subtract. If you simplify this, you will end up getting 2 into 0.9772 minus 1. So जब भी you need to find symmetrical values of in between, आप उसकी positive वाली you can find the probability on the positive value, multiply that by 2 and subtract 1, तो आपको automatically in between वाली value मिल जाएगी. Is this clear or not? So whenever if I ask you probability between 1 and minus 1, so 1 पे probability read करो, multiply that by 2 and subtract it from 1. So this is a quick short trick for you, or else you can go the long way as well. So yes, so the probability is 0. But the question is not asking the probability. So 0.9544 favorable outcomes. X total outcomes were 800. How many leaves? That is what the question was asking. 763.52. 763 ले लो, 763 leaves. Is this clear? 764 भी ले सकते हो. दोनों आंसर इस situation में acceptable. नहीं, I told you it's a different variable. I told you it is a different variable.